What was the final straw that ended a lifelong friendship? My best friend of over 20 years. We both had kids about the same age, and our daughters were also best friends. She left her then 15-year-old with me for a week. While she went on a trip to Bali, no problem at all, and her daughter attempted to end her life. I took her to hospital, got care for her, sat by her bed for 3 days, made sure she was set up with a social worker, got her connected with the local mental health unit and youth services team, and put a plan in place to help her recover and move forward, etc. Obviously, I'd called her mom on day one and kept her appraised, but this woman not only didn't change her flights and come home, because it would have cost $200 to change the flights. She literally told me, "Oh, you don't have to go to the hospital every day to sit with her. That's what the nurses are for." And then when she finally got back, she flipped out at me for parenting her child behind her back. I'm still in contact with the kid. She's living independently and working as a baker's apprentice. She's gone no contact with her mother, but she still rings me up when she needs a grown-up to talk to. I will never speak to that friend again. Well done for being the adult the child needed. She started routinely paying rent weeks late and blocked me from her social media so she could secretly post about going to concerts and music festivals with her rent money. Currently dealing with this with my roommate. She thinks we're the bestest of friends, but then can't pay rent for weeks after it's due and never does the one chore we ask her to do, dishes. I'm still waiting on the April rent. Yep. Had to kick my best friend out of my house over rent. He was already over $2,000 in debt to me over it when he said to my face that he wasn't going to stop buying bottles of booze and weed to try and save the money to pay his rent. By the time he was actually moved out, he owed $3,400 in unpaid rent. He's been living with his parents ever since. A year after I kicked him out, he tried to ask if we could discuss him moving back in. Before I could say anything about it, he said, "It wouldn't be till after I paid you back the $2,000, of course." As if he had completely not recognized the extra rent after that one conversation. I told him we'd think about it after he paid me back. 3 months later, he was still so broke he was asking people for money to put gas in his car to get to work. Still buying booze and weed with every spare cent he had. When your friends tell you they don't have any respect for you, believe them and nip it in the bud. Kept borrowing money for me to feed their kids or get their kids medication. It's an emergency. And truly, they were destitute. These instances were plausible. But one day, after being told one of the kids had been hospitalized and released home, and between the Uber rides to and from the hospital they didn't have enough for his meds at the pharmacy, I signed onto Facebook and saw pictures of them, sick kid included, at a block party. Destroyed the friendship for me. For the record, I never expected them to pay back borrowed money for food or medicine. I was happy to help. Those kids were like my kids too. It was betrayal and finding out I wasn't loved like I loved that got me. Had a similar thing happen to me in college. I had a job, he sort of did. Had like part-time lab work. He was always needing covered for rent, food, etc. I did what I could to keep the lights on and the rent paid. He periodically paid some money back, or gets a pizza or whatever. Honestly, I didn't really care. He had been my best friend since I was 5 years old. What was a couple hundred or even $1,000? It all came tumbling down near the end of the spring term. We were at the house and his girlfriend wanted to go out bowling. Personally, I like bowling, but I literally did not have 2 pennies to rub together at that moment. I had just dropped all my cash covering utilities and rent for the whole house, and I didn't get paid for a few more days. So I said, nah, I will pass. I am literally out of cash. 2 seconds later, his girlfriend chimes in, "You are always broke, always needing money. Don't you have a job?" After that, I was seeing red, but I didn't explode. Just looked at my friend who looked panicked. One of our other friends stayed behind after they left and informed me that she had heard I was constantly borrowing money from him, my friend, that I was always short on rent, utilities, and his girlfriend was pissed because it affected things they wanted to do, like taking trips. My friend had flipped the script, using all his money on wine and dining his girlfriend, then telling everyone we knew I was borrowing money when he was tapped out, as an excuse. Needless to say, I was pissed, told him to grow up. I went home for the summer to visit my mom. Came back to town with us being evicted from the house. Turns out he had decided to stop paying anything towards rent. Didn't tell me, hid all the owner complaints, and then was bailing out. Also, just as an extra kick to the teeth, I lost the deposit on the place, which I had paid. Apparently, he had been storing an old car battery in his closet. It had leaked, melted through the carpet and floor, and literally fell under the house. After that, and a bit more lying and drama, I finally just had a talk with him. Told him that I couldn't be friends with him until he grew up and took responsibility. Told him he could come talk to me again when he was ready to apologize and stop lying. It was the last conversation I ever had with him. It's been almost 20 years now. Holy, what a toxic relationship and experience. Sorry you went through all that. He was banging my wife for 3 years and had the temerity to say that it was my fault. I had a guy throw up in my cab once and say it wasn't his fault. I asked him whose fault it was then. He looked abashed and admitted that it was his fault. To be fair, that usually happens with drunk people. Well-reasoned thinking is not their strength. He dated my best friend they met because of me, and she utterly trashed his heart and cheated on him. Just awful. I regret introducing them. Our friendship got ghosted during their relationship, and after they broke up, it was clearly done. Sucks, but I get it. Still miss the dude. Hope he's happier now that he got the fuck away from everyone. I had a similar situation. I warned him she was crazy, but he went ahead. After shit went completely sideways, he said I didn't warn him enough. And I said, what part of bottomless pool of need? Don't do it? Did you not understand? I didn't date her. I don't know what she's like in a relationship. I played therapist a whole bunch of times after they broke up and during the ensuring custody shit show. But eventually he just stopped responding when I would reach out. Try not to beat yourself up. You couldn't have known how it was going to go. Had a friend like that. Told him not to date my friend. He did anyway. Then he'd call and complain about her incessantly. I finally got fed up, said I'd call him back and never did. Then he blocked me on FB. We never spoke again, and he's dead now. When I realized that me being a good friend to her was actually just me being a caretaker with poor boundaries and putting up with years of emotional abuse. When that fog lifted, it was completely life-changing. Same. I actually ended the friendship. Then a year later, she apologized, promised she had seen the error of her ways, etc. She asked me to come to a dinner party for her birthday with a group of her friends, and I agreed. For context, I'm crafty and like to decorate things. I bought her a cute bracelet for her birthday and decorated a little box to put it in. We sat down at the restaurant and she introduced me to her other friends by making some joke at my expense that I have forgotten. It got an uncomfortable chuckle, but her friends were actually nice. A little bit later, I gave her the gift. She said, "Do you keep giving me boxes because you like them or you think I do?" None of her other friends laughed. I said, "Open the damn box, Mary," and left. That was the last time we spoke. Mary never deserved you. She became very insecure and jealous when I got into law school. I came home to visit after my first semester, and we caught up over coffee. From my perspective, I had hardcore imposter syndrome. School was stressful and hard and scary, but I was learning a lot, challenging myself, and meeting nice people. She started to pull away, to no-show for phone dates, and to generally blow me off. When I finally got a hold of her, she told me, "You went off to law school and suddenly thought you were better and smarter than everyone else." My jaw was on the floor. That narrative existed nowhere but in her own mind. I told her she was wrong and that her perspective hurt my feelings. She cried and yelled, "I know, I'm fucked up about friendships with women." That was the last time we ever spoke. Had a similar experience. I moved abroad to study at a fairly basic university. Then I found out my friend is talking shit about me behind my back, that I'm acting like I'm better than everyone else because I study abroad, which was absolutely just in her head. Because among other things, I made it clear several times that the reason I studied abroad is that I would never be able to get the degree in my field in my home country. Computer science programming? In my country is 99% about math, which I suck at. Abroad it was about actual programming and developing projects. I know it's just her insecurity because she dropped out of a good university, attended a lot easier one, and again, dropped out, unable to finish the school. That she would like to move abroad too, but her English is not good enough. But it still hurt. Everything was a competition that my friend had to win. The day that she noticed my brand new jug and said that hers was bigger was the day I realized that I didn't want to be friends anymore. Yeah, I'm in the midst of something similar. Been best friends since we were 12, and have been waiting for her to let go of this competitive mentality since. We're 21 now, and after so many interventions and talks about this problem, she cannot seem to be able to change. I'm having trouble letting go or distancing myself because she's like a sister to me, but like a really jealous and competitive sister. Still don't know what I'm going to do about it. Thank you very much for watching this video. Write your thoughts in the comments under this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for new videos in the future.